You're going to be able to get your vaccine as soon as you turn 5. And I know you're excited and I know you're eager. In some places across the country, you can even start making your appointment now for shortly after your birthday.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, suggesting that children at the age of 5 years old should rush out and get the COVID-19 84 vaccine. This comes despite the fact that we all know that people within that age range are not affected by this thing, which, by the way, has an over 99% recovery rate. But that's not stopping the Prime Minister from suggesting that you get your kids jabbed. Well, if you've been watching this channel over the years, this should come as no surprise, as I've been warning about this for quite some time. I put out this video back in 2015, June of 2015, titled Mandatory Vaccinations Coming to a School Near You. I also put out this one in February of 2019, almost a year before the whole pandemic launched. The government wants mandatory vaccines for your children, what you need to know. And more recently, this one, guys, Health Canada to receive 90% Big Pharma funding. Emergency rooms are closed, and they want your kids vaxxed. Well, here we are, guys. Justin Trudeau's already suggesting this. In fact, he just took his 7-year-old kid to get a vaccine dose and asked parents to do the same. Now that there's a COVID-19 vaccine for kids aged 5 to 11 years of age, Justin Trudeau took his youngest kid to get a dose, and he asked that parents do the same with their kids. He shared a photo on Instagram of himself, Sophie, and their 7-year-old son, Hadrian, at a vaccine clinic in Ottawa on December 3rd. Sophie and I already got our shots, and today Hadrian got his first one. So he is suggesting that you parents go on out and do the same. This, may I remind you, is coming from a man who thinks that it's entirely appropriate to bring his children to the gay pride parades. You know, it was a couple of years ago when Hadrian was only 5 years old that he took him and exposed him to the gay pride parade. I mean, if you've ever been to one of those events, you will know it's absolutely no place that anybody should be taking their own children and exposing them to that level of sexuality at such a young age. Seems incredibly irresponsible. So I actually confronted the Prime Minister about just that, taking his young kids to the gay pride parade. In fact, Hadrian was only 5 years old at the time, and so I had to get up in his face and watch how I get around these security thugs as well, in order to get in a question with the Prime Minister. But that's what you have to do these days in order to conduct any real kind of journalism. But check this out. This is me confronting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for bringing his young 5-year-old child to the gay pride parade. Justin. Yeah. Hi. Can I see you? Yeah. Can I get press conference just up there? Okay. Well, sir. Yeah. Sorry. You have to move back. Easy. Thank you. Okay.
If you want to talk to him, there's a scrum up ahead.
They didn't let me in the scrum.
You can go if you want.
Okay.
There. That's where he's going to answer questions. Okay.
Okay.
You can come with me if you want.
Follow him.
Okay. Justin? Oh, he's.
So there's a scrum up ahead.
Yeah, I know there is.
Yeah. So I'm his press secretary.
Okay.
So if you want to answer questions,
are you going to let me in the scrum area?
If you want to come up here to do a scrum, for sure.
Okay, because I was in there and they said I had to get out.
Okay. So you're going to come this way then.
Okay.
This is where the media scrum's going to be.
It's besoin d'aide.
Justin, is it responsible to have children here with you, sir?
That's where he's going to answer the question. Okay.
Justin, you have children here with you, sir. Is that responsible?
That's enough. That's good.
Okay. Thanks.
Justin, you're marching with children.
I'm getting curled into
All right.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for your cooperation.
So it's entirely okay with him to do such a thing. I think it's absolutely beyond irresponsible. But this is the man who's suggesting that you take your kids out and get them the jab for a virus with a 99% recovery rate, which children in that age range are not being affected by this thing. But he's leading the charge, ladies and gentlemen. But as I said, this should really come as no surprise. I've been warning about that for quite some time. And something else that I've been warning about, which is really the important point of today's video, is that they've constantly be saying that these vaccine mandates are only for the non-essential services. Well, I've been warning now for past 18 months or so that these mandates will eventually be coming to the essential services, literally like grocery stores, and we are already there, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this. New Brunswick COVID-19 roundup winter plan goes into effect Saturday night following 2 deaths and 97 new cases. And as we see here, this includes giving the ability for grocery stores to require proof of vaccination from all patrons. So we're here, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. It's on. Everything I've been warning about for quite some time now is kicking off in New Brunswick. So we're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at this article as well. We're going to cover both of these in today's video, so stick with us as we get through all of this, guys. But before we do, I'd ask that you check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. If you appreciate my efforts to continuously bring you this information, here you can make a one-time donation with PayPal by clicking on that. If you're in the Bitcoin space, you can click on that banner there to contribute some Bitcoin. If you're on Patreon, you can become a patron of mine by clicking here on that Patreon banner. We also accept other cryptocurrencies. You can do that here. Here's where you can sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution that is outside of any kind of a third party having to be paid like Patreon. Another great way to donate directly to me is through e-transfers. That can be done at dan@pressfortruth.ca. And of course, if you prefer to keep it old school, we also accept cash, checks, or equipment, or simply just words of encouragement, and that can be sent to my P.O. box. Links are all located for this in the description below, guys. Thank you so much to anybody who has contributed to my efforts over the years. All right. So this is the big story of the day, guys. Everything I've been warning about is now coming to a head. They're literally going to bar unvaccinated people from being able to buy food at the grocery stores. And this is starting out east. So let's look at this one first. Halifax, New Brunswick will enter into level 1 of its COVID-19 winter action plan as of 11:59 on Saturday. The province's 3-level plan is to help curb the spread of COVID-19 84 during the winter months. It will be re-evaluating it in the spring. And from my experience of covering this ever since it started, guys, they constantly shift that goalpost. So they're saying this is, don't worry, it's only going to go into the spring. Well, guess what? By the time spring comes around, there's going to be this variant and that variant, and these many cases are up, and lo and behold, they will announce that it's going to be extended. This shouldn't come as any surprise, once again, if you've been viewing this channel, but just let that be known that they say it's going to end in the spring. It's not. It's only going to expand further and also across the entire country. New Brunswick's Health Minister Dorothy Shepherd said on Friday the action plan will help reduce the spread of the virus when combined with vaccinations and public health guidelines. Shepherd said the entire province will begin level 1, the lowest of 3 levels, which is similar to current measures that are in place. Once the level takes effect, the province's health minister said that informal gatherings in homes will have a 20-person capacity, and outside informal gatherings will be limited to 50 individuals. She's encouraging everyone to keep contacts as low as possible. Under level 1, Shepherd said that masks are required outdoors, in outdoor public places where physical distancing is not possible. You know, I remember back when this thing first started, when I would see like one lone individual out there walking around outside with a mask on, and be like, whoa, that person is insane. They're watching far too much television. Well, now it's like there's only the odd person who's not wearing a mask outside. It's absolutely mind-boggling just how quickly we've been conditioned to be so afraid of this thing. Yeah, it's just wild. But let's continue. Physical distancing between customers and patrons should also be followed at malls, grocery stores, salons, and other businesses. There are 2 more levels of the winter action plan. They include lower capacity levels, travel restrictions, and gathering limits. Shepherd said the province's education system will continue to follow its existing plan. Details regarding New Brunswick's COVID-19 84 plan can be found on the website. So they give a case breakdown. New Brunswick reported 77 new cases on Saturday, along with 66 recoveries. So of the 77 people who have recently been turned into a case, 66 of them have already recovered. That's, again, because of the high recovery rate. It says here that now brings the total active cases up to 722. Well, if there's 722, probably over 700 of those are going to recover from this thing because it's got an over 99% recovery rate. We've known that since the very beginning, yet they're using the idea of case counts going up to keep that fear state ramped up. And the way that, you keep the case numbers down is to stop getting tested, folks. Stop running out to these testing facilities and helping them ramp up the fear state. So here's the update. The province says 81% of eligible New Brunswickers are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 84. 87% have received their first dose. So over 80% of them are fully vaccinated. But that's not good enough. They're still going to say, for the rest of you, you're not going to be allowed inside the grocery stores. Again, it's hard to believe we come to this point, but not so much if you've been following my work throughout the course of this entire thing. This is everything exactly I've been warning about. So let's take a look at what CBC has to say about this. New Brunswick government released its winter action plan for COVID-19 on Friday, as it confirmed 2 more COVID-related deaths and 97 new cases. And, I got to reiterate time and time again on this channel, because I get new viewers all the time, that cases really mean nothing. There are active cases, there are presumptive cases, they are all lumped into the same category. This means that if you are, for example, contact traced at a restaurant, somebody turns out to be positive, they have to contact trace everybody who is in there. So maybe 50 people will now be counted as a case, even though they may be totally fine, haven't even been tested, are not sick, are totally fine, they're still counted as a case. And that's why the numbers are going up, that's why the fear state is going up, but it's all based on nothing. Nothing. It's so important for people to understand that. In the face of a very concerning rise in infections over the past 2 weeks and disproportionate number of cases among the unvaccinated, just the fact that they even have to say that is kind of comical. Health Minister Dorothy Shepherd said the 3-level plan with new restrictions will take effect on Saturday, will remain in effect until spring. Once again, let's see how this video ages, shall we? And see if that is extended. I think you will find that it will be. The entire province will be on level 1, the lowest of the restrictions, when the plan takes effect. This includes a maximum of 20 people for informal indoor household gatherings, which replaces the current steady 20 restriction. Maximum people of 50 people for informal outdoor gatherings. Unvaccinated residents should avoid informal gatherings. And here's the big one, guys. Masks are required in outdoor public spaces and where physical distancing can't be maintained. This is it. Malls, grocery stores, salons must enforce physical distancing or may instead require proof of vaccination from all patrons. So really, what this is going to come down to is these individual managers at certain grocery stores, how much TV watching are they doing? How far gone are they? How brainwashed are they? How afraid are they? And that's going to determine whether or not they're going to just try to enforce physical distancing or say that they're going to demand that you show a vaccine passport to enter the grocery store. So, is your grocery store manager based, awake to the scam here? Or is he watching far too much television and going to close you out? This is exactly what I've been warning about for quite some time, and lo and behold, here we are. With winter comes colder weather, shorter days, more time spent inside, increased opportunity for COVID to spread. It's important that we have a plan in place to ensure our healthcare system is not overwhelmed, but also considers mental and physical and financial health. Well, the reason why it's being overwhelmed right now is because they are firing nurses and anybody in the healthcare industry who is not willing to partake in this global inoculation experiment. So they're constantly saying that the hospitals are just, they're stressed, they're burnt out. It's been a difficult 18 months, and that's why there's staffing shortages. No, guys, it's because they're firing the unvaxxed. The very same people who were considered heroes this time last year are now the enemy. Let that sink in. There are small actions each person can take, but when combined can make up a big difference. If carefully followed and combined with public health measures such as wearing masks, physical distancing, and scrupulous hand washing, Shepard said is confident that the plan will keep case numbers in control. So even though you're vaccinated, you're still going to have to wear the mask, do the distancing, and all the other stuff. The power to keep us in level 1 is in our hands. That is a veiled threat. Dr. Jennifer Russell, Chief Medical Officer of Health, warned Christmas gatherings could lead to post-holiday spikes in cases. Don't you dare get together with your family. Absolutely concerned about that. Obviously, with this new variant, Omicron, it's even more challenging in terms of what scenarios could look like. Guys, you know how many people have died due to this Omicron variant? 0. That's a big goose egg, guys. 0. Yet they're obviously using it to continuously drum up that fear state. And I really wish people could see it for what it is, but you really have to get rid of your cable and your TV in general and crumple up the newspapers and turn off the radio if you don't want to be heavily brainwashed into this cult, which is what it's turning into. By releasing the plan early, 3 days earlier than scheduled, the government is giving residents a few weeks to make personal decisions and manage the risks. If necessary, the winter action plan has 2 more alert levels with increased restrictions, including household bubbles, lower capacity at restaurants, and no travel in or out of level 2 or 3 areas except for essential reasons. Again, how is anybody free in this country without the freedom of mobility? Some criteria that could prompt a change in levels includes the 7-day average of new cases, the rate of positive tests, hospitalizations, and the impact on contact tracing, Russell said. Again, important to understand what that means. Health officials would consider a move to level 2, for example, if there's a positive rate of 10% across the province. And, you know, they give these various scenarios of why they might bump it up from level 1 to level 2 or level 3 and what those are all going to entail. And here they say, you know, on a whole, I think that people will be compliant. They understand what's at stake, and nobody wants to go to more stricter phases. Again, that's a veiled threat here, essentially, saying, you know, we don't want to have to do this, but we will. But it's up to you. You know, are you going to run out and get vaccinated so you can get your food? Well, they're suggesting that if you don't, things are going to get a lot worse for you. And again, guys, this goes back to what I've been saying the whole time, is that it is so incredibly important that we now focus on not being reliant on the governments, not being reliant on the banks, and I've been saying this for a long time, not being reliant on the grocery stores. You have to be completely self-sustainable now, moving forward, guys, because we're beyond crunch time now. The time for protesting and, you know, just gathering at rallies is long gone. It's over. That, you know, we're beyond that, guys. If you don't have a plan now to have yourself a self-sustainable garden, then you are falling way behind. And that's what you need to focus on right now, guys. People often say, you know, Dan, if you're saying, you know, protesting is pointless, then what are you suggesting we do? Well, I've been saying this all along, guys. Get out of debt. And get yourself to that point of being self-sustainable with that garden. This is going to be the most important thing moving forward. As we see now in New Brunswick, the hammer's coming down. We're seeing it, and I'm warning you right now. This is going to spread across the entire country, not just Canada, but the entire world. That is the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Once again, don't forget to check us out here if you appreciate our efforts here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Again, links are all going to be located in the description below. I want to thank everybody so much for continuing with your support. And please click that thumbs up button. Share this video if you found the information to be useful. And stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming very soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.